Aloha, good afternoon, everybody, from the heart of the valley here in Orem, Utah. Welcome back to UCCU Ballpark on the campus of Utah Valley University and Game 2 of the 6A Championship Series between the Corner Canyon Chargers and the Lehi Pioneers. Joining you live for the broadcast booth here at UCCU Ballpark, Alexander Tumup alongside Ty Wilkinson here. Alrighty, Ty, this is it. Corner Canyon took their first, has lost now their 2 of the last 3 games. Their backs are against the wall today after getting run ruled against Lehi. You know Jeff, yours team is going to come out swinging here to start this game.
And very well, that will be the case, Alex, because especially if you're Corner Canyon, a team that has at least 2 10-run games in the tournament, you know this offense is due for an explosion. We obviously didn't see it yesterday. You can only wonder and kind of think to yourself that maybe today is the day that Corner Canyon starts to wake up on the offensive perspective, and, try to get those runs on the board that they were unable to attain last night.
And TJ Peterson on the mound today for Lehi, which makes it all the more interesting because, as we saw, Lehi had their number 1 going yesterday. Corner Canyon had their number 1 go yesterday, but Lehi just unleashed a barrage in that 3rd inning. 8 runs on 7 base hits, all capped off by that 2-run home run by Dawson Brown.
Right. It was an impressive showing, I would say, by Lehi's offense, especially in a championship round where you have a lot to prove if you're Lehi. Once again, we keep mentioning first year in 6A, coming off of originally in 5A, but you want to have that statement and say, hey, we're going to be around for a while. We've already been to a couple of championships. We beat Corner Canyon in basketball already, so it's like, well, since we're going to be here, why not put on a show? And, Lehi definitely did show out. And
Ty, that's what I want to get to next with you. Talking about the keys to this game, it's not really a Heidemann Associates keys to the game, but it's more like a talking points, I guess, what to watch for today is I'm interested to see how Corner Canyon comes out offensively because, again, they're the lower seeds, so they get the top innings in every game so far, except, of course, if we get to a game 3, then it'll be a coin flip. But it'd be very interesting to see how Corner Canyon comes out and how aggressive they are against TJ Peterson, who's the number 2 for Lehi, not the number 1 that they were facing last night in Braden Hansen.
Well, we've seen it happen before. As I mentioned, this is a team that's known for their scoring efforts in that Corner Canyon offense. And the biggest thing and the biggest note that I have for them today is they need to wait to get high into the count. As I mentioned, waiting for your pitches, waiting for something good is the key to the game, especially when you're facing the number 2 for Lehi. Once you wait for your pitches, you find something good, you'll filter through a couple, and that's okay. You need to have really good eyes, and if you're Corner Canyon, you need to also be really smart on the base path. As you know, you got Mays Madsen over there at shortstop, and if he works with his number 2 pitcher, they can be a very, very dangerous duo.
And talking about that now for Lehi, for Mays Madsen and co today, for head coach Eric Madsen to win they're 7 innings away from winning a championship here, maybe less on his field where he used to play. He told the Deseret News the other day, he was talking with them, and he said that we haven't won anything yet and that we need to stay focused. What do the Pioneers need to do in order to take care of business here today?
You got to stay content. You got to put some runs on the board like you did yesterday, and you got to, I guess, keep yourself locked in. You have to stay contained, get the bats going early, because Lehi, as we know, they are a comeback team, as we've seen in the previous games against, once again, Riverton and American Fork, where they come back really late. But I think the key against Corner Canyon is you got to go ahead at least a little bit early, because Corner Canyon is known for going ahead in the early going, as we've seen in their previous outgoing. So if you're Lehi, you want to keep the foot on the gas, you want to keep going. In the offensive perspective, you really just have to get those bats going.
Will there be a Game 3, or will the Lehi Pioneers claim a 6A championship and cap off a historic first year in the top division of high school sports? We are ready to go. When we come back, we'll have the starting lineups, and we'll have first pitch. This is it, folks. The Corner Canyon Chargers and the Lehi Pioneers ready to decide it in the 6A Championship Series. Game 2 begins when we return. All right, everyone, welcome back. All right, everyone, welcome back here to the UCCU Ballpark on the campus of Utah Valley University here in Orem, Utah. It's time to look at who the 2 coaches have put out on the field. The Corner Canyon Chargers, led, of course, by Jeff Ure. Time to see who he's put together as his winning team today on the diamond, just like how Heidemann & Associates is putting together a winning team for you, the client, for whatever you need in your life. All right, the Corner Canyon Chargers go as follows. Garrett Downing leads off at center field. He'll be followed by Ryder Florence. The shortstop, Cash Conquer, the second baseman, will bat third. Nathan Horseman will bat cleanup today at third base. Andrew Nice, the starting pitcher, will bat fifth in the order today. He'll be followed by first baseman Ryland Dunn. Jack Munson will bat seventh in the order. He's in right field. Drew Watcott moves up from ninth to eighth in the order. He'll bat coming from left field. And Tanner Mackey, the designated hitter, actually inserts back into the lineup. He has not been in the starting lineup for the past 3 games. And they will all go up against, of course, the starter for Lehi, TJ Peterson, on the mound today. And Ty, we talked about how early on the number one for Lehi, Braden Hansen, gave up that early base hit and then came around to score on the sac fly. And you know that in the back of Eric Madsen's mind, that quick strike ability is very dangerous to his team.
I would completely agree. A veteran head coach, he knows exactly where his team needs to be in this situation because, well, not only has he been in the moment countless times, it feels like, but I feel like he knows exactly what his players need. And, having that accountability for your players really just shows how Lehi's season has just been so productive all year long.
Garrett Down in the leadoff man stands in. Ball 1, and we're off and running here in Game 2 of the 6A Championship Series. Next pitch on the way is hit on a line to Ozzie Williams, and he doesn't have to punch. Makes the glove down, and there's one out here on just 2 pitches. Game time temperature here this afternoon is 52 degrees. It's overcast, but the sun is starting to come out, but it is a very humid afternoon, 71% humidity. And we went over by a couple of hours because of a couple of rain delays in the last game. The first delay was for rain at about 11:45. We were in a delay for about an hour and 30 minutes, and then there was a hail delay for about maybe 10 or 15 minutes for the safety reasons of the players, as this one is poured in at the Lettersboro. Strike to the shortstop, Ryder Florence. 1-1 pitch on the way. That one is in the dirt, 2 balls and a strike. Still a pretty good crowd on hand, though, here at UCCU Ballpark. Again, mostly Lehi purple in the crowd today, as this one is in the dirt for ball 3. Three 1 on the way. This one is hit in the air to right, tailing down toward the line, and that's going to land foul near the bullpen out there in right field. So the count goes to full here. 3 balls and 2 strikes on the second man in the order, Ryder Florence.
And this is not the scenario where you would want to lose Ryder Florence either, just because, 3-2 counts are for TJ Peterson, usually his specialty.
Left that one up high, ball 4, and so Florence reaches on a walk.
Now hitting number 5, Cash Conquer.
And here comes Cash Conquer now, the second baseman. Nathan Horseman stands on deck. As there's a runner on first here with 1 out. Check throw to first. That gets by the first baseman, Tanner Heaps, and now Florence is going to third. He's going to slide on in there. That'll be an error on the pitcher, TJ Peterson. And just like yesterday, Ty, already a runner at third here with just 1 out here for Corner Canyon.
Yep, this is the position you would want to be in. We saw it last game, Corner Canyon. They went up early, but they only got 1 run. So if you're Corner Canyon, you're looking to get a little bit more base runners and a little bit more of that pad, especially considering you can go up big here in the first.
That first pitch is down in the dirt to Conquer. 1 ball, no strikes.
We mentioned pregame that this team is known for striking early, this Corner Canyon offense.
Next pitch on the way is high and inside for ball 2. Runner at third here, 1 out at a 2-0 count on the second baseman, Cash Conquer, as the Chargers look to strike early again for the second consecutive game, as that one is high and inside on Conquer, and the count goes to 3 balls and no strikes. And Eric Madsen very quickly out of the dugout here, and he's going to have a chat with his pitcher. And we kept touching on this, Ty, yesterday, is that the adrenaline and the nerves here in this environment, we talked about how they might be flowing a little bit too strongly sometimes. I think right now, if you're TJ Peterson, definitely that's the case.
I would completely agree. You get a little bit of ahead of yourself, too. I mean, adding the fact, though, I mean, this is a clinching opportunity for Lehi in a championship game. The nerves are definitely at the all-time high, especially for the pitcher, more than it feels like any other base player in the defense, just because you have that accountability to your name and to try to get through this order as soon as humanly possible.
Taking all the way, he pitches in there for a strike. 3 balls and 1 now on the third man in the order, Cash Conquer. Again, Nathan Horseman stands on deck. And there's still only 1 out here in the top of the first inning. That pitch is inside for ball 4. And there are runners at the corners here with 1 out. And here comes Horseman to the plate now.
Nathan Horseman.
First pitch on the way to Horseman is down in the dirt for ball 1. Umpires today, Tracy Polson's behind the plate calling balls and strikes. Matt Barker's over at first base. He'll be covering from first base from the right field line up to second base, and the crew chief Jason Estridge is at third base. He'll be coming from third base, or from the left field line rather, up to second base, as this one is up high, 2 balls and no strikes.
Talk about the toughness for a pitcher, too, and the conditions that he's been dealt for his hand today. He's just trying to find anywhere at least within the zone where he can pitch to, at least for this case, for Nathan Horseman. And Alex, as a pitcher, that's really difficult to do, especially just with the rainy conditions that it's been this past however long it feels like.
Yeah, it was raining since we got here this morning, about maybe 6 or 7 hours of just constant rain, and it finally cleared up this afternoon as this goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes now. On the cleanup man, Nathan Horseman. Andrew Nice stands on deck as the Corner Canyon Chargers look to break the seal for the 2nd consecutive day. They got runners at the corners here with still 1 out. 2-2 pitch on the way for Peterson. This one is hit in the air to right, going down toward the line. Brown will make the catch. They're going to send the runner home. This is going to be a close play, but it's cut off up the line. And once again, Corner Canyon has the lead for the first time in this game. It's 1-0. So just like yesterday, Ty, RBI sac fly for the Corner Canyon Chargers, and now here comes Andrew Nice with still a runner in scoring position and 2 out.
Yeah, that's the situation you want to be in if you're Corner Canyon. I mean, you can't do it much better than Nathan Horseman. Of course, you'd obviously like the ball to drop out there in right field, but a sac fly will do it. And on top of that, now Cash Conquer advances over there to second.
First pitch on the way is hit up the middle. That is stopped by Williams. Throw to first in time. What a play! The stab of the strike from the second baseman, and that retires the side. We go down to the bottom of the first inning after Corner Canyon strikes first. 1-0 our score. We'll be back with the bottom of the first. Welcome back, everyone, to UCCU Ballpark here in the heart of the Valley in Orem, Utah. Time to see who Eric Madsen's put together as his winning team on the diamond today. Presented by the full-service law firm that's committed to winning for you, the client. Item and Associates. Ozzie Williams, who just made that amazing 4-3 put out over at second base. He'll bat leadoff today. Mace Madsen right behind him in the 2-hole at shortstop. Boston Dracula at left field will bat third. Cole Ybarra, the designated hitter, will bat cleanup. Brandon Manukin, the catcher, fifth. Cooper Williams at third base will bat sixth. Dawson Brown, who had the 2-run home run last night in right field, he'll bat seventh. Tanner Heaps will bat eighth. Gavin Yates will bat ninth, rounding out the order, and they will all face the left-hander Andrew Nice for the Corner Canyon Chargers tie. And now, if you're the Chargers, you had this situation yesterday. You were up 1-0, but Jacob Trost able to get out of a jam early on, but then everything kind of unraveled. How much of a key is it for Andrew Nice to get a clean inning rather than have some traffic here in the first inning?
I'm going to use a little bit of play on words here. Andrew Nice needs to be not nice to the batters that he has to deal with
He
today.
needs to be a little naughty, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, quite. He has to
That
deal.
might not be the right expression, but
Yeah, he just needs to not get ahead of himself. He cannot allow certain base runners for a team that has just been so good on that first and second baseline. We saw it against Riverton. And I mean, once again, whenever they get into a scoring situation, it feels like every time that they're capable of capitalizing. So Andrew Nice, if he can get a 1-2-3 inning here, not only will that be a big situation when you're facing against Ozzie Williams, Mays Madsen, and Boston Draculich in order, but now you got to get those bats going again since you're already up 1-0.
And it's lefty on lefty here for the first two batters. Andrew Nice faces the second baseman, Ozzie Williams. And already we have some head games here going between the two players. First pitch on the way is picked up off the rug there by the catcher, Cotterill, ball one. One-0 pitch. Ground ball to the left side. Good stop by Horseman. He turns it, throws, and he gets it. What a play. So after Williams had the great play, Horseman comes back with one of his own, and there's one gone.
That's the second amazing infield play that we've seen. It's only the first inning right now, Alex. And that turf, that's difficult to read, too, especially considering the rain that we've gotten the past 7 hours.
First pitch now on the way to Mays Madsen is in on the inner half for a strike. Again, lefty against lefty for the first two batters of this game faced for Andrew Nice. As the time is called here by Madsen. Oh, one pitch. That one is in the carpet, gets away from the catcher Cotterill there, so ball one. Madsen in this tournament overall 6 for 12, including last night with that 2-run triple. One on the way. This one is hit down the left field line and tailing into the grass outcropping down that side. 1-2 strikes.
Okay, this is the situation, by the way, where you want to be in if you're Andrew Nice. You get ahead of the count against Mays Madsen. You want to try to deal him something a little bit on the left, on the opposite side of Madsen.
This one is hit in the air to center field. Coming in is Downing onto the head of that. Looks like more of the eyebrow, the right eyebrow of that Wolverine logo in center field. Makes the catch, and quickly there is two gone. Good start here for Andrew Nice. Gets the 5-3 put out by Nathan Horseman over at third, and then gets the fly out to Garrett Downing, and now he's 1 out away from getting a clean inning here for the Corner Canyon Chargers, something that they are definitely looking for after causing a lot of havoc on the base paths yesterday at Lehi Pioneers, as this one is poured in right up the knees for a strike.
Well, this is what we talked about before the start of the inning, Alex, is Corner Canyon really needs to come out with a really good clean inning here, because that 1-2-3 can be so dangerous for Lehi, and including when you get down to the depths of the lineup.
This one is roasted in the air to center field. Downing is there, and that is the end of the inning. So Andrew Nice does his job in the bottom of the first inning. Unlike last night, it's a 1-2-3 start for the Corner Canyon Chargers defensively, and now they come to the plate with a 1-0 lead in the top of the second. TJ Peterson back on the mound here to start the top half of the second inning for the Lehi Pioneers here. 1-0 our score as we head to the top half of the second inning here. Ty, that was a big 1-2-3 inning there for Andrew Nice after Jacob Trost got himself into a little bit of trouble last night. And now with the 1-0 lead, the Corner Canyon Chargers got to build a little momentum here against this Lehi defense.
Well, as we said, their first and second innings, they are known for scoring. That has been the story of Corner Canyon this tournament, because they have just done so well of working pitchers high into the count, which then forces the bullpen to once again come along. And then by that point, as you can obviously tell, it just becomes a mind game scenario for the pitchers facing against the batters.
6, 7, 8 in the order here in the top of the second inning for the Corner Canyon Chargers, starting with the first baseman, Ryland Dunn, and he takes a strike on the inner half. 0-1 pitch. This one is hit in the air well to deep left field. Going back to the wall. That ball is gone! A solo home run for Ryland Dunn, and the Chargers, as expected, come out and they mean business in Game 2.
How about that, Alex? His second of the tournament.
And his first one here in the championship series, and it could not have come at a better time for the Corner Canyon Chargers, as this is ball one up high to the right fielder, Jack Munson now. Next pitch is inside high, 2 balls and no strikes. How about that start for Corner Canyon? Exactly tied what we talked about. Get the sac fly, and now they get the big home run from Ryland Dunn, as that one is in at the knees for a strike.
I'm pretty confident he put it in the same place he did over at Larry H. Miller Field, over in right. That ball had a ton of carry, though.
I mean, that thing was absolutely smoked out to left field. Wasn't sure if that had enough carry on it. Looked like the left fielder had a beat on it, but it did have enough thanks to the wind pushing it out towards left field, as this one is fouled. Look out! That one came really close to our broadcast booth, but that means it's time for an Any Hour Services random roof ringer on cue, which happens anytime a ball hits the roof or the tarp at Larry H. Miller Field, as this is ball 4 to Munson. And a runner on first with nobody out here in the top of the second following the home run by Dunn. All right, Ty, take it away.
All right, take a guess, Alex. How many perfect games have ever been pitched in MLB history?
You really have to ask me that question. I know that number. It's 24.
Oh, well, there you go. You get.
Because I saw the 24th one last year.
I figured I would give you a softball for this one, Alex. I know we're playing baseball.
Thanks.
I figured I'd just give you a nice, easy little layup.
That's what you get. Yeah, exactly. That's what I get. That's what you get for trying to throw me under the bus yesterday with that Patrick Mahomes.
I stumped you with that one. You better admit to that.
I did admit to that. I have been admitting to it. What are you talking about? This one has been the dirt ball one following the check throw to first. Runner on first and nobody out here in the top half of the second inning. Chargers lead 2-0 on the sac fly RBI and then the home run by Ryland Dunn to left field. 1-0 pitch. Tried to lay the bunt down but ended up missing it. Strike one.
You got to think if you're Corner Canyon too, you're really in the best case scenario that you want to be in right now. Up 2 on the Lehi Pioneers, and you've already doubled the amount of runs that you had in the previous game.
1-1 pitch on the corner, strike 2. Good pitch there and a good placement there from Peterson. Now 1-2 the count. As Peterson looks to work around that solo home run by Ryland Dunn, which again, Ryland Dunn, his second of this 6-8 tournament. He had a 2-run home run of the second inning against Fremont back on Tuesday in the second round. 1-2 pitch, and now we have time call. Tanner Mackey, the DH, stands on deck. He'll be followed by the center fielder, Garrett Downing. Check throw back to first, close play, but back in safely is the runner Munson.
A lot of head games earlier that TJ Peterson has to deal with on the mound right now.
Can feel the intensity going up already. Here's the 1-2. Goodbye. Got him looking at a pitch on the corner. Boy, that was some sauce served up there by TJ Peterson, and there's one gone. His first strikeout of the day.
Went bottom corner on the righty. That's what I keep saying, Alex. This is where the hitters, that's where their weakness is. If you go opposite side, I mean, it's really difficult for them to read, especially in the strike zone. And he catches them looking.
And Ty, talk about that for a second. I mean, you played enough baseball I mean, you, Wilson, and Josh Dodge here in the booth with me have played all baseball, played baseball for a long time. Why is it so hard to read a pitch going to the opposite corner if you're a right-handed hitter?
You know, because when it comes across, it's like in a diagonal form.
This one gets away from the first baseman, Williams. That's going to allow the runner advance to second. Another errant check throw, and the second one of the day already for TJ Peterson. But back to what you were saying.
When it's a diagonal form, Alex, you can kind of see it feels like the ball is going to continue to carry to your opposite angle from the batter's perspective. So when it keeps going to that opposite angle, again, it kind of is really difficult to justify.
Into left center field, Yates comes over and makes the catch, and there's 2 gone now as they will not tag and advance the runner. 2-0 Corner Canyon, 2 runs on just 1 base hit. The first run of the game came on a walk, and then came on a sac fly, so it goes down as an earned run. And then start off this inning, the leadoff home run by Ryland Dunn that cleared the wall in left field by a good 7 or 8, close to 10 feet. I mean, that thing was crushed. Second one we've seen in this tournament. There's another beauty right on the hands there for a strike from TJ Peterson. Just again trying to work around that solo home run by Ryland Dunn. 0-1 pitch. Same spot, but just misses the black inside.
That's a tough one.
Maybe caught just a fraction too much of the dirt. 1-1 pitch. And this time that one plunks him on the foot. And so, runners on first and second now with 2 out for the Corner Canyon Chargers. Munson at second, and Tanner Mackey now at first, and now back to the top of the order. Or excuse me, that's Garrett Downing over first. I'm sorry, and then Ryder Florence now comes up to bat. He the scorer of the only run here, besides the home run by Ryland Dunn. That one misses the outside corner, ball 1.
Back to what I was saying, Alex, about throwing pitches on the opposite end. Because if you do inevitably get a hold of it and you start chasing it, you don't get as much power off the edge of the bat as you would normally want to. And plus, it also goes opposite field, and you can also, you know, end up popping out or flying out in either scenario. And batters really want to lay off that pitch. That's why it makes it so difficult.
1-1 on the way. There's another beauty, strike 2. So the Chargers down to their last strike here of their inning here in the second. Only run came across the score on the Ryland Dunn solo home run. 6th man in the order to bat here in this inning. 1-2 pitch. This one misses and bounces up off the rubber. 2-2 now. Deuces wild here. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs for Ryder Florence, the shortstop. Here it is. And this one is in the dirt, and the count goes full.
This is already a second full count offering that he's faced. He's already had a walk.
Here it is. Runners go. And that one misses, ball 4. And so the bases are loaded here for Corner Canyon. With 2 out now, and here comes the second baseman, Cash Conker. And we have movement in the bullpen for the Lehi Pioneers. Right-hander is up in the bullpen. That's Carson College up in the bullpen, number 10, 6'5" senior, who is up there right now trying to help out TJ Peterson. But getting back to what we were saying about Corner Canyon coming out like this is exactly the kind of start you expected, and in fact, we both expected from Corner Canyon in this game.
You could have felt it, I feel like, coming in early, because you want to work TJ Peterson, the number 2 on Lehi, really deep into the count. We saw Ryder Florence both on 3-2 pitches. He both took walks, and if you're Corner Canyon, those are hard pitches to lay off too that Ryder Florence was dealt. But now this puts you in a really good situation as you're already up 2 with the bases loaded.
Oh, and that one hits Conker in the low part of the foot. That will bring home a run. And it's 3-0 Corner Canyon. What a start.
We were talking about it earlier. That ball placement for pitchers is so difficult after a rain.
And Mays Matson, the captain, going over to have a chat with TJ Peterson. As you get a look at the situation there shown by Vince Francis, our cameraman. Nowhere to put Nathan Horstman. He's surrounded here is TJ Peterson, and now Eric Matson pops on right out of the dugout. And if you're Jeff Yore for Corner Canyon, Ty, you could not have scripted an any better start than this right now.
To say the least. I mean, up 3-0, you're already in the second inning. You've already done twice as good, if not better, than the first previous game that you faced, but we're facing the #1 pitcher for Lehi. And now already you're going to start working the bullpen already just in the second inning.
You're right, Ty. We have a pitching change here. TJ Peterson is chased after just 1 2/3 innings. Carson College now. It's up to him to get something done. Corner Canyon coming out firing here in Game 2. Looking to send this to a third game. Welcome back, everyone, to the Rewind Sports Network's coverage of the UHSAA 6A Baseball Championship Series. The 5A title's already been decided. Maple Mountain upsetting the #1 seed Brighton in a stunning 2-game sweep here earlier this afternoon. And now Corner Canyon knocking on the door of potentially breaking this one open and sending this 6A series to a Game 3. Carson College now on the mound. As we bring you back here inside UCCU Ballpark, of course, gave some shout-outs yesterday to some of the people from Lehi that I knew very well. Of course, Corner Canyon guard Wells Robertson, of course, watching from wherever he's watching from today. Hope he's enjoying the proceedings so far. And I'm sure, Ty, Wells isn't the only one that's happy right now. I'm sure Jeff Yore is loving every minute of this start by his team.
Well,
they've already chased TJ Peterson, and now you're forcing Lehi to burn their bullpen here. Just 1 2/3 innings into this game.
I was going to say, you think he's happy, but it's not over yet, Alex. They're still knocking on the doors of opportunity.
Yes.
Bases loaded, 2 outs.
Yes.
You think he's happy, but he's still going to be locked in.
Yes. College's first pitch is in the dirt. That gets by, and the runners will not advance. Eric Dowdick thought about it, but thought much better of it. Again, a lot of the 5,000 here at UCCU Ballpark, or close to 5,000, are wearing the Lehi purple, but still a good contingent of neutrals and Corner Canyon fans here. As it's really clearing up now here in South Utah County. With the weather as unstable as it is, with all the rain we've had this morning, you really now get concerned of the threat of thunderstorms here as we head towards the early dusk, early evening hours. One-0 pitch. Down low again, 2-0.
You wonder the approach that Corner Canyon's going to take now with the bullpen pitcher. As I mentioned before, the key to the game is to work within the counts. And I mean, great job by Nathan Horstman already.
This one is ripped foul toward the dugout. Heads up over there for Jeff Yore. Already 2 runs home in this inning. One came home on the HBP, and then another one was on the solo home run to lead off the inning by Ryland Dunn. That cleared the left field fence over there of the UCCU logo by plenty. 2-1 pitch. Strike 2, even though Manukin dropped it. And a big pitch here for Carson College as he tries to limit the damage. 3-0 Corner Canyon. Trying to force a decisive Game 3 in the 6A Championship Series. The 2-2 pitch. Liner into center field. That is a base hit. 1 run will score. Florence is going to be sent to the plate. The throw is cut off. And Corner Canyon unleashing here in the first 2 innings.
At plate number 5, Cash. At plate number 4, Andrew next.
You expected it. We expected it. And we're getting it. What a start for Corner Canyon this afternoon. First pitch on the way to Andrew Nice is hit at the knees for a strike. 4 runs have come across the score on 2 base hits here in this inning. The solo homer by Ryland Dunn and the 2-run single by Nathan Horstman. 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss.
Well, did I say the name of the game is going to have to be to work within the count? How about that? A single on a 2-2 pitch. And he loved that four-seamer right down the middle. And he took it straight to dead center and scored 2. That was a beautiful at-bat.
0-2 pitch. Good waste there down in the dirt. Andrew Nice represents the 9th batter in the order to hit in this inning. Chargers have batted around here. That one is down in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes now. Deuce is wild again.
I think the even crazier stat is they only have 2 hits. But all that matters is that score right to the next of it. 5 runs.
2-2 pitch. And the count once again goes full. Manuka drops the ball. Thrown out to third. He is safe. As Conker slides in ahead of the throw as Williams could not keep the tag on over at third. And the count goes full now, and there are runners at the corners now, with still 2 out.
That is risky.
3-2. That runner goes. He is hit. And the bases will be loaded again as false start on the runners. Horseman thought it was a passed ball, but it hit the batter before it skittered through the legs of Manukin. So everybody goes back a bag. And the 10th man in the order to come to the plate now in this inning is the man who had the 2-run home run, or rather the 2-run home run on Tuesday and the solo home run just a little bit ago in Ryland Dunn, and Eric Madsen again out of the dugout. Meanwhile, we do have another person warming up in the bullpen for the Lehi Pioneers. And College is going to have the ball taken from him after just 6 batters. Another bullpen reliever coming. Corner Canyon making it all click here in Game 2. They lead 5-0 and threatening to add more. Welcome back, everyone. Earlier, we had our Any Hour Services Random Roof Ringer. I'd like to thank them for their sponsorship of KSL Sports Rewind's coverage of high school sports all school year long. 5-0 here in the top half of inning number 2. The bags are still full here for Corner Canyon, and now tie after 6 batters. Trey Pavelka, another senior, going to be on the mound here for the Lehi Pioneers. And you were just telling me about the crooked numbers both these teams have put up. I mean, it was Corner Canyon who put up crooked numbers against Davis and Fremont on back-to-back days. They put up a crooked number against Mountain Ridge. And here they are against Lehi. You expected they were going to come out firing, and this is exactly what you expected.
This is quite exactly what I expected, Alex. We watched this game. It was Corner Canyon versus Mountain Ridge on the 23rd of May. And we saw the first inning. They put up a 7 spot on Mountain Ridge early. And, of course, you know how that game ended up turning out. But still, this is the place where Corner Canyon is known in these early goings.
Pavelka's first pitch is in at the knees for a strike as Eric Madsen just trying to get really the tourniquet on this landslide here in the second inning and get to the bottom half and give his offense a chance. 0-1 pitch from Pavelka as he has a look back at second. This one is foul right back to the screen. And for what seems like the 6th or 7th time in this inning, Corner Canyon is in an 0-2, is at a 2-strike hole again. Can Pavelka finally put an end to it? Yes! Trey Pavelka, first batter he faces, strikes him out on just 3 pitches. But the Corner Canyon Chargers have come to play in game number 2. We'll be back with the bottom of the second after this word from Igloo. Well, there's your story of the game so far, folks, through 1.5 innings here at UCCU Ballpark. 5-0 is our score. Alexander Tumup alongside Ty Wilkinson. Ty, just 5 runs on 2 hits, as it says on the scoreboard there for the Corner Canyon Chargers. But what matters now is what you talked about at the top of the broadcast, was that Corner Canyon has to be more patient than they were last night. Now they have a 5-0 lead, and they've retired the first 3 batters they faced.
Right. I keep emphasizing it because it's such a big deal, is to wait for your pitches. And what an at-bat that was by Horseman. Goes 2-2, and that was a single right down the middle, it felt like, into center field. And that, I feel like, is what makes this lead as large as it is and makes it such a really good situation now for Corner Canyon.
So now, Ty, it's 5-0 Chargers here. We know Lehi is capable of coming back. We know they're capable of putting up big innings. What do they need to do right now besides waiting for their pitches in order to get something going against Andrew Nice?
You got to try to, I would say, well, yes, you obviously have to wait for your pitches, but what you have to do right now is you have to have really, really smart and contentious on the base paths more than anything, because this Corner Canyon team, we've seen it a couple of times, at least in this tournament, that pickoff attempt that they keep getting is super, super dangerous, and it's deadly to teams. We obviously haven't seen, Lehi face up against Corner Canyon in this situation before, but that is going to be the name of the game, is the base path scenario for Lehi.
3 balls and a strike here to the leadoff man in the inning. Cole Ybarra, the DH, will be founded by Brandon Mnookin, and Cooper Williams, the third baseman. 3-1 pitch. Hit towards second. Picked up on a couple of hops, winged over to first. And the first 4 have been retired here in this inning.
Now hitting number 15.
Or this game, rather, by Andrew Nice, as now the catcher Brandon Mnookin now comes up to the plate. And, of course, as usual, he'll be followed by Cooper Williams on deck.
Well, he's got the nickname Big Nuke. Yeah, kind of a good reason for that, too.
Kind of a good reason for it. He is definitely a power hitter, that's for sure. Mnookin, of course, the RBI single that tied the game on Tuesday night against American Fork. And he takes strike 1. Oh, 1 pitch is another strike. And Nice is just rolling right now. Here through 1 1/3 innings. Oh, 2 pitch. This is lined to short. And Florence is able to trap it, throw to first in time. What a play. So Florence not able to traps the liner over there and is able to throw out Mnookin over at first base. 6-3 score the putout. And that makes 5 in a row retired to begin the game here for Andrew Nice.
Well, how about Andrew Nice's defense right now? Ground out, followed by a fly out, fly out, fly out, and then, as we saw, that ground out. This defense for Corner Canyon is making the score that it is right now going through these orders.
First pitch to Cooper Williams is a swinging strike.
And this is going to be Andrew Nice's biggest test, I think, Alex, is because Lehi is known for their depth in their lineups. They can strike at any point at any given time. So it's a matter of if he can contend these pitches and, try to not give them anything that they can try to put into play.
1-1 pitch on the way is lined down the right-hand side and foul over the first base coach.
You just talk about depth on all cylinders, Alex. This team is
this
loaded.
team is loaded for bear. But right now, like I said, can't script a better start than this if you're Corner Canyon. 1-2 payoff on the way. Swing and a miss, drop third strike, throw it out of first. And 6 up, 6 down for Andrew Nice here in this game. He needed to come out strong, and so did his offense, and they are doing it right now. We head to the top of the 3rd as Lehi goes Ekahi Elua Aloha in the bottom of the 2nd inning, and they trail now 5-0 here in Game 2. Beautiful look there at the Wasatch front. Welcome back to the heart of the valley here in Orem, Utah. Alexander Tumop alongside my broadcast partner Ty Wilkinson. 5-0 Quarter Canyon leads here in game 2 of this 6A championship series. Lehi leads the best of 3, 1-0. As Jack Munson, 7-8-9 in the order after a 10-batter inning that saw 4 runs come across the score on just 2 base hits, including the solo home run by Ryland Dunn and the 2-run single by the cleanup hitter Nathan Horstman. And now Jack Munson stands in as Trey Pavelka continues to work, and the first pitch that Munson faces is in the dirt for ball 1.
Well, how about Corner Canyon already forcing Lehi to go to their third option just into now the top of the 3rd inning?
Next pitch on the way is a crisp fastball on the outer half for a strike.
I think that's a good sign that your offense is doing something to make Eric Madsen make 3 separate pitching changes.
Pitch on the way is line foul off to the left over the concourse and out of play. Count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes now as the Lehi bullpen trying to hold it in here against Corner Canyon and keep this deficit as manageable as possible. 1-2 pitch, and a good waste there outside high, 2-2. It's warming up now here in Orem, 55 degrees, but the humidity still high at 66%. That pitch is hit in the air to left, tailing down towards the bullpen, and is going to land in the fans over there as some kids go in there to make the sliding grab. See some box sliding too on the hills up there over on the left-hand side of left field where the grass outcropping is. Maple Mountain took some liberties to do a little hill slide here at UVU as well. As this count goes to full now, 3 balls and 2 strikes on Jack Munson, the leadoff man of the inning for the Chargers. Full count offering. And another foul. This could be the 7th pitch of the AB coming up here for the leadoff man of the inning, Jack Munson, as they are really making this Lehi pitching staff work, which is something that, Ty, you and I talked about ad nauseum at the beginning of this game. This is another foul ball. That's making 8 now coming up here for Trey Pavelka.
Well, Alex, I should have touched on this earlier, but you have to think, maybe that is a strategy by Eric Madsen to take out your pitchers a little bit early, because if Corner Canyon forces another game, it's going to have to come down to a pitching situation where you're going to need pitchers. So maybe, I guess it makes sense if you're Eric Madsen to only limit the amount of pitch count that your pitchers are getting, because if Corner Canyon forces another game, we're going to a game 3.
Well, Pavelka wins the battle there with Jack Munson striking him out on the 9th pitch of the AB. That's got to give him a little bit of confidence there on the mound, you would think, as this is chopped to 3rd and foul. And it stayed fair for about maybe halfway up the line, and then the dove foul at the last second past Jeff Yor in the coaching box. 5-0 Corner Canyon. Top of the 3rd inning. Alexander Timlip and Ty Wilkinson here for game 2 of this best of 3. Lehi leads the series 1-0 following their Mercy Rule win last night. This one is tapped weakly off the fist. Williams picks it up, wings it over to first, and throws it over the head of the first baseman. And that's going to allow the number 8 man Drew Watcott to get over to second base rather. And so on the error by the 3rd baseman Cooper Williams, a runner now remains in scoring position, and there's still 1 out.
And mistake me if I'm wrong, that's the 3rd error now on the Lehi Pioneers.
It is indeed. 2 wide check throws on the starter TJ Peterson, and then the errant throw there from Cooper Williams. Some untimely, unfortunate errors for the Lehi Pioneers, who are trying their hardest to make this as manageable as they can, as this is hacked foul back over the roof. You do get the feeling that the delay did have an effect on these 2 teams as well. I mean, we are about 2 hours almost behind schedule right now because of the rain. We had a 90-minute rain delay, and then we had another 20-minute rain delay / hail delay earlier as this one hits off the screen.
I feel like it definitely plays a factor into both teams, because
it played a factor on us.
Yeah, to say the least.
They got us all punch drunk.
Well, for Lehi and Corner Canyon, I mean, Corner Canyon, you get time to breathe, but Lehi's like, hey, we're trying to come into this game and we want to win.
This one is hit towards second. Runner will move over to third as Williams will wing it over to first. And there's 2 out here as the runner advances over to third. So Corner Canyon, big insurance run potentially in this game over at third base right now. And the Pioneers still hitless. Having been set down in order 2 innings in a row, they have still yet to have a base runner in this game. First pitch on the way from Trey Pavelka is outside the outer half of the plate there for ball 1.
Well, this could also be a big opportunity for Lehi's defense, considering Corner Canyon has already put up runs in the first and second inning, as they're yet to do so with 2 outs.
Check throw down to third, close play, but back in safely is the runner Watcott. Pitch was outside and low there, 2 balls and no strikes on the leadoff man in the order, Garrett Downing. 5-0 Corner Canyon already here in this game. 2-0 pitch. High fly ball in the air center field. Yates waiting. Gets it. Inning over. So the Lehi Pioneers allow a runner to get to third, but they do not score. Now they need to get some offense going. Corner Canyon putting on a clinic here in this early going. They lead 5-0 as we head to the bottom of inning number 3. Welcome back, everyone, to UCCU Ballpark here on the campus of Utah Valley University in the heart of the valley here in Orem. Alexander Timlip and Ty Wilkinson, joined by a couple of guests. Well, we have a couple of people here in the booth with us, one of them being Josh Dodge, our cameraman. And we also have Wilson Gustafson here in the booth with us as well, who I guess is our analytics expert, or whatever you want to call it. I guess we could call it that. Wilson, what do you got for us?
Well, one thing I've really noticed so far from Lehi has been some uncharacteristically sloppy defense. And it's been all around. Usually they've been so tight this entire tournament, but they have 3 errors here through 3 innings, and this is the first time that Lehi has had 3 errors in the baseball game since March 15th.
Wow.
Against Juan Diego. So
wow.
Extremely uncharacteristic from them, and probably a huge contributing factor to why they're down 5-0 right now.
And so bringing back Ty in here, Wilson just talked about it. I mean, it's been almost It's been almost the whole season, basically, since Lehi has had this many uncharacteristic defensive errors. And like we said, 2 wide check throws, Ty, and the error by Cooper Williams, untimely errors, and now here they are down 5-0, and mainly the contributing factor is those 3 errors.
And it's not the time you want to make those errors or mistakes either. Again, it's a championship series. I understand that the nerves are at the all-time high, but you kind of just have to... Oh, nice catch out there.
What a play over there by Cash Conquer at second. That liner hung up just long enough for him to come down with that sucker. That looked like it had right field earmarked all over it, but Conquer jumped up and said, I don't think so. And 7 up, 7 down here for Andrew Nice to begin this game.
That prevented the first base hit for the Lehi Pioneers.
And the first base runner of the ball game as well. That pitch is hit at the knees for a strike to the first baseman, Tanner Heaps.
Man, and Andrew Nice is just going to go straight back to dealing.
I mean, you talk about a performance that Corner Canyon needed after yesterday. I mean, this is it right here.
Well, there's still 2 batters to go to try to get through the entire lineup, but, I mean, like you said, even the fact that they've gotten through these 7 without having a hit or a base runner, for that matter, is just huge.
Liner to right, and they are going to get a base runner over at first. Ty, are you kidding me?
Happened again,
are
didn't it?
Are you kidding me? Good grief.
Might just have Wilson call the rest of the game at this point.
Not only that's the first base runner, that's the first base hit of the ball game. Congratulations. You are the... Jeez.
I had a great start.
I think you have officially surpassed Chris Collinsworth and John Madden in the same breath. Do you know how hard that is to do?
I'm just gonna stay quiet. You know.
Oh my gosh.
Take away my mic privilege.
I know. I'm just joking with you. 2 balls and no strikes now, or 1 ball and no strikes now to Gavin Yates, the center fielder. First base runner of the ball game and the first hit of the ball game for the Lehi Pioneers. As this one is down in the dirt. 2 balls and no strikes. Okay, Ty, let's circle this back and take it seriously now.
Right.
This is huge here for Lehi to at least get some traffic against Andrew Nice here in this inning.
Right. Well, we talked about last game that the bottom of the order for Lehi is really paying a contributing factor into why this team has just been so dangerous all year long, is because you take these guys like, once again, Tanner Heaps, Gavin Yates. And I mean, we know Dawson Brown, he had that home run yesterday to put a really big dent into the scoreboard. So it's pretty much just the bottom of the order that has this opportunity going into the top soon.
3 balls and a strike now. Taking all the way was the center fielder, Gavin Yates. Three one on the way. Fly ball foul. And the count goes 3 balls and 2 strikes now on the center fielder, Gavin Yates, as Andrew Nice tries to work around that 1-out single. Runner at first, 1 out. 3 balls and 2 strikes to count on Gavin Yates, the center fielder. Ozzie Williams stands on deck. The payoff on the way. Chopper back to the pitcher. They'll go the short way for the force, and that will move the runner into scoring position, so that de facto goes down as a sacrifice, and there's 2 gone. And here comes Ozzie Williams to the plate. To be followed on deck by the dangerous Mace Madsen right behind him. As we're going to have a chat here between pitcher and catcher out on the mound. And Ty, you have to figure at this point, if you're able to even get across 1 run in this inning against Andrew Nice, Lehi's going to feel pretty good about themselves going to the top of the 4th.
That's a huge confidence booster, at least in my opinion, if you get at least 1, especially when that'll bridge that 5-run gap lead that Corner Canyon has already put on the scoreboard. But Andrew Nice is not going to let him go easy. We've seen him be calm and collected. He's taking his time with his pitches. As you can see, that windup is in his grasp and possibility that he's trying to get.
First pitch on the way to Ozzie Williams. Down low in the dirt, ball 1. Andrew Nice had set down the first 7 that he faced, and then the single by Tanner Heaps, and then the subsequent sacrifice that moved the Heaps over to second. So it's not really a sacrifice, but I guess you could call it that. 1-0 pitch on the way. Liner down the left field line, tailing, foul. That one hits off the top of the padding of the fence of the bullpen over there and left. Actually, it looked like that might have bounced up into the grass outcropping there in the corner, but it looks like it fell short of that. 1-1 the count. And the pitch. Check throw back to second. It's going to get into center field. And Heaps is going to take off for third, and he is going to get there easily. And that's going to advance the runner 90 feet. That'll be an error on the pitcher, Andrew Nice. And so now Ozzie Williams with a ball and a strike in his favor now has a chance to bring the run in and give Lehi some much-needed momentum. 1-1 pitch. Tried to lay down the bunt and pulled it back as that ball went high and inside over Ozzie Williams' head. 2 balls and a strike. Big gap up the middle there in center field. This one is slashed the other way off the screen. And the count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes now with 2 out.
You got to think, if you're Lehi, you're tasting this opportunity right now. This is a really good run that you could get across, especially with 2 outs. And Andrew Nice, you can tell he's going to be in for a long deal.
Strike 3 over the inner half. They leave the runner on third, And we head now to the top of inning number 4. 5-0 Corner Canyon. Halfway home to forcing a decisive Game 3. Welcome back to the heart of the valley here in Orem, Utah. Alexander Tulip alongside my broadcast partner Ty Wilkinson. Before we go any further, we'd like to remind you that the Rewind Sports Network's coverage of the UHSAA 6A Championship Series is presented by our friends at UCCU. It's also presented by Igloo Outfitters, the coziest wearable sleeping bag that has you covered through all seasons of the year. When you use the promo code REWIND, you can get 20% off your next order from Igloo Outfitters. Just go to igluoutfitters.com for more. 2-3-4 here to lead off for Corner Canyon. In the top half of inning number 4 as Trey Pavelka now into his second full inning of work here. First pitch on the way is at the knees on the outer half for a strike.
There's that difficult pitch that I'm talking about. It's just those outside corners that you can hit on the opposite batter.
0-1 pitch. This one is left up high, ball 1. Feel the temperature starting to drop a little bit. There is some rain forming to the north and south of us, but it certainly hasn't affected where we are just yet, as that's poured in at the knees on the off-speeder for a strike. Something to definitely keep an eye on as we go throughout this game, the weather conditions. 1-2 on the way. High fly ball in the air to right. Second baseman Williams is over. Brown calls him off. And Dawson Brown says, "That's mine." Williams says, "Okay." And there's one out.
Now hitting number 5.
That'll bring up the second baseman, Cash Conker, now as the Chargers look to build on this 5-0 lead. We're almost halfway home here in game number 2. Lehi leads the series 1-0. That one is an off-speeder left up high there for ball 1. Two, 3-4 will also lead off the bottom of the 4th for the Pioneers, as that's a fair ball ripped down the line. Past the diving Williams. Conker thought about going to second, but instead was caught halfway between the base bats, but has to run back in. I think he was just shocked with how quickly the left fielder Draculich picked it up out of the corner and gunned it back in, but it's a 1-out single nevertheless.
That's a veteran play out there in left field to get the ball. I mean, keeping a runner at first base on a ball that's directly down the third base line, that is a difficulty in and of itself for fielders.
That brings up Nathan Horseman now, the dangerous third baseman, as Manukin had that one go through him, but he was able to block it sufficiently. Third hit of the day for the Corner Canyon Chargers. Both base hits came in the second inning. The home run by Ryland Dunn and the 2-run single by the man at the plate here, Nathan Horseman. 1-0 pitch. Strike 1. If there is a Game 3, it'll be 30 minutes approximately following this game, because the 5A championship was decided in 2 games. Maple Mountain won both games, and they were both amazing games, amazing, thrilling, wild games, to say the least, as this one is golfed out of play onto the concourse towards Clyde Field on the other side of the complex. One and two the count here on Nathan Horstman, the third baseman. Andrew Nice, the pitcher, stands on deck. 1-2 pitch. Just missed the black. 2-2. Looks like Manukin had to snatch that back up to his left a couple of inches, so didn't get the call.
Well, just a reminder, in the second inning, this was the spot Horseman was in on the 2-2.
This one bounces up to the plate now on the catcher Manukin, and now the count goes to 3 balls and 2 strikes here. Nobody in the bullpen right now for the Lehi Pioneers.
And that guy at the plate has had some great at-bats just in the postseason.
3-2 pitch. Foul. 6th pitch of the AB coming up here. Pavelka battled through a 9-pitch AB to get the strikeout on Jack Munson. Now trying to battle through another long at-bat here against the third baseman Nathan Horstman, who's already got a 2-run single to his credit earlier today. 3-2. Ground ball, base hit to the left side. Right through the gap. That'll move the runner up to second base. Crow cuts back in quickly, and their runners at first and second with still only one out. Now up comes Andrew Nice, the pitcher. And if you noticed, folks, Ty, a couple of times during this series, Andrew Nice and Jacob Trost, the pitchers, were caught giving the business earlier to the Lehi bench. And that's something to keep an eye on. The chirping has been going on between these two teams here throughout this entire series thus far.
It's championship baseball. I mean, what more can you say to it? Nerves and tensions are at the all-time high. And if you want to let the other dugout know, I mean, obviously Jacob Trost paid for it yesterday.
Well, obviously. Gave up 8 runs in the subsequent bottom of the... was charged with the first of the 8 runs in the bottom of the third, but Andrew Nice has the right to do that right now, I think. And you just love to see the competitive juices flowing through these two teams.
It's a good nature to have and mentality to have, too.
Absolutely, I think. I mean, you don't have sports without that. I mean, come on now.
It's the passion.
Yeah. Anyway, here's the 0-1 pitch following the hack. That one's picked up off the rug. Ball is strike.
Well, you remember, Alex, we talked about Corner Canyon really needs to work in the count. How about Nathan Horstman? I mean, you go 2-2. You get that base knock, scores 2 runs, and then he goes up 3-2, and he gets that single right through that difficulty line. And a couple of those star-studded infielders out there, Mays Madsen, and then, of course, let me find who's over there at third, Alex.
That's Cooper
there he is.
Williams.
That's Cooper Williams. Yeah, star-studded infield.
This one is hit the air to right, down the line, and it is a sliding stretch fetch over there by Brown. Runner will tag and go to third. As it was a robbery of sure extra bases over there by the right fielder, Dawson Brown, who had the final out of last night's game. The 2-run home run in the bottom of the third. And Ty, you talk about defensive plays. We have seen some good defense on both sides of this diamond here today.
And how about that outfield catch? I mean, that was tracing right down the foul line. It would go to the wall. And I would even argue that that would have scored a couple of runs, too.
So now here comes Ryland Dunn, who already has a home run. Struck out his last time. First pitch on the way is a high cheddar offer and a no dice on that one. Strike one. Runners at the corners, 2 out. As the Chargers look to extend this 5-0 lead here. Trying to force a decisive Game 3 later on this afternoon. As that pitch goes in and hits Ryland Dunn. And the bases for the third consecutive inning are full of Chargers. As up to the plate steps Jack Munson, the right fielder. First pitch on the way from Pavelka is another high cheddar and another miss. A 1 pitch. Ground ball to second. Williams goes the short way to Madsen for the force. And they'll get the out as Ryland Dunn cuts off his slide just in the nick of time. And that's the end of the inning. Chargers lead the bases loaded. We head now to the bottom of the 4th inning. It remains 5-0 in favor of Corner Canyon. Thank you, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters, for your sponsorship of KSL Sports Rewind's coverage of high school sports all school year long on this, the final day for the school year of KSL Sports Rewind on Championship Saturday. Alexander Timup alongside Ty Wilkinson here at UCCU Ballpark in Orem, Utah, as the rain starts to drizzling again here at UCCU Ballpark. So Ty, the big story right now, Corner Canyon up 5-0, but it could be a lot more because they have left a ton of opportunities on base. As you just pointed out, second time they have left the bases loaded in their innings today.
Well, yeah, I mean, the score does obviously say 5-0, but I feel like that last inning, which was the top of the fourth, is one that if you're Corner Canyon, you would want to have back, at least in my opinion. I could easily be wrong, but every insurance run is going to count, especially when you're facing against this really star-studded team like the Lehi Pioneers.
2, 3, 4 in the order for the Lehi Pioneers. It starts with their main man, Mays Madsen. Can he get something going? 6 for 13 in this tournament. This one is lined to right and a base hit. Down the line it goes. Madsen's going to try to leg out a double. This throw is going to be close, and they're going to not get him. And then a shove on Ryder Florence at second base. And now, Ty, this is where you want to be careful. Emotions are running high on both sides. Eric Madsen's coming over to make sure no more funny business happens. Ty, we talked about it. When emotions run high, same thing happened against Mountain Ridge for Corner Canyon, as now we're going to have a conference of the umpires here, and I think this is a good move here by the umpires, led by home plate umpire Tracy Polson and crew chief Jason Estridge.
Well, you see Madsen.
This is a really good move by these three to get their heads together and basically tell the benches, hey, that's enough.
Well, you're talking to, or Madsen over there is right now talking to, Ryder Florence, just about that push, obviously. I'm assuming it's going to be at least a little bit unintentional. We know Mays isn't exactly the guy to do it, but as you mentioned, when emotions run to the all-time high, I think it was just a slide that kind of just came in on an interesting situation. But
so the call stands. Jason Estridge, the crew chief, says that Madsen is safe, but like we said, more than anything, that probably was the umpires coming together and telling the benches and telling each other that that's enough. We know emotions can run high, but sometimes things like that can happen, and that's where you have to channel that emotion in different ways. First pitch on the way coming to Boston Draculich is in low, ball one. Draculich, Ybarra, Manukin. And we're going to have time called here, as looks like second baseman Cash Conker out there is seeing something in that alignment out there. Probably smelling a steal attempt by Mays Madsen. For Madsen, that's his 7th hit of this tournament and his 3rd extra base hit. He had 2 triples and a double now to that name today.
Does that make him 7 of 13?
7 of 14, actually.
7 of 14, that's right.
1-0 pitch. In low again, but this time catches the inside part of the plate for a strike. One ball, one strike, nobody out. Cole Ybarra, the DH, stands now on deck after Boston Draculich. Here's the 1-1. High fly ball in the air to right. Coming over is the right fielder Munson, makes the catch. Batson, meanwhile, behind the plate, tags and goes to third. And there's now one out and a runner on third here for the Lehi Pioneers, who are just really looking to check in with the run here at this point to get themselves some momentum going into the top of the 5th. As Corner Canyon trying to force a 3rd game in the 6A Championship Series. Cole Ybarra now stands in at the plate. He, the engineer, that 2-run single that sealed the game against Riverton on Tuesday. That one just misses the outside part of the plate, as it looked like Cotterall, the catcher, had to snatch it back a couple of inches to his left.
It's a tough one for Ybarra to lay off, too, especially when you got a runner at third.
Just a sac fly will do here. 1-0 pitch. is hit in the air right, and that is tailing foul over towards the bullpen, over the tractor, over maybe a couple of other things, maybe into a drainage ditch or somewhere, I don't know. All we know, that ball is far gone.
As long as it's not into someone's nachos.
Right, as long as it's not into the road back there, then that'd be really dangerous. 1-1 pitch, ground ball to third and foul. As Madsen picks it up barehanded and has a bit of a word with Nathan Horseman.
Horseman's like, that's my job.
1-2 pitch on the way. And that's in the carpet. Count goes to 2-2. Two pitch on the way. Into center field. That is going to be caught. But that is going to be more than deep enough to score the run. As Matza does come in to score. There's 2 out, and Lehi's finally on the board. And Ty, we talked about how big those opportunities were. That's a big one right there for Lehi to get that run.
It's a good capitalizer right now, and the rain is going to start to pick up here too.
Yeah, it is starting to rain again as this ball is outside ball 1, and now everyone here at UCCU Ballpark that was up in the open is now, for the 6th or 7th time today, ducking and running for cover. This one is golfed in the air to right, falling fast down the line, and it's going to drop. That's going to be big time. That's going to be big time trouble. Manukin's going to motor his way in a second, and he will get there with a stand-up 2-out double. Cade Bailey will now take his place out at second base as he hears the familiar chants of Nuke going back to the dugout.
Running for the Pioneers, number 1, Cade Bailey.
So now here is Cooper Williams, the third baseman. And Ty, if Lehi gets this run across, they're right back in this game. First pitch coming from Andrew Nice. Strike right down the middle. 1 run already home on the RBI sac fly by Cole Ybarra, and then Brandon Manukin with that 2-out double, and then Cooper Williams now with a chance to get Cade Bailey, his pinch runner, in from second base in a 2-out game. One strike pitch. Foul. Count goes to 2 strikes.
Well, so now Andrew Nice already looking for his second strikeout. It's been all defense, Alex. I mean, Corner Canyon, their defensive structure and their outfield as well as their infield has really been the reason why this score is the way it is.
Here comes the rain again. Picking up just a little bit now. Runner going to third. Don't know if anybody saw it. Boy, Cade Bailey just took off, and no one moved a muscle for Corner Canyon. I mean, he
tiptoed in ways over there.
I mean, he literally could have walked there if he wanted to. That's unheard of. Anyway, here's the 1-2. And this one is tapped weakly foul off the batter's box up the line.
I mean, what secret agency do you work for? Goodness.
I'm telling you what. I mean, Cade Bailey, I mean, he almost took off like he was a ninja down that third base line. I mean, he was gone before anyone could get a look at him. 1-2 pitch. Foul. Look out. 5th pitch of the AB now coming up for Cooper Williams as some people are beginning to pull out their umbrellas here at UCCU Ballpark. Some are pulling out ponchos, others are trying to cover up themselves with blankets and towels and the like. 1-2 pitch. And another foul, this time to the backstop. So the 6th pitch of the AB coming up here.
Well, like I mentioned, Andrew Nice is still looking for his third strikeout. He's stayed ahead of this count pretty much ever since this at-bat started.
The 1-2 on the way. And again, another foul. Same spot off the end of the bat. 7th pitch of the at-bat coming up here now for Cooper Williams. With Dawson Brown, the right fielder, standing on deck behind him.
Well, this is where fire meets fire. A guy who wants the end of the inning versus one who wants to continue.
And that guy wins. The 3rd strikeout for Andrew Nice, but Lehi does score in the bottom of the 4th inning. And the Pioneers have a little bit of a pulse now as we head to the top half of inning number 5. 5-1 Corner Canyon as the Chargers try to force a third game in the series. Well, as the rain picks up again here at UCCU Ballpark, welcome back. Alex Arizona alongside our broadcast partner Ty Wilkinson. Let's get a look at some of the kids playing out there on the grass outcropping in left field. Already had one home run ball come their way today, had one come their way yesterday. And now, Ty, as we look through this little bit of a rain shower here at UCCU Ballpark, we saw it have an effect on the pitching earlier this morning in the first game of the day between Maple Mountain and Brighton. How much do you think it's going to have an impact here as we head to the bottom of the top of the 5th?
Roughly the same amount. I mean, for a pitcher, you're going to see him constantly try wiping off his hand on those white pants out there. But still, I think, once again, if you're a pitcher, you kind of just have to keep the ball at least as dry as possible. It's a lot more difficult to get a rougher handle on it.
Here's a bunt to third, and Cooper Williams comes in, scoops it, and gets the stab and the strike. As Drew Wapcott tried to bunt his way on the first pitch, but Cooper Williams was having none of it as the rain now. Well, I will say, at Les Marcabi Stadium at home, we play through this kind of weather.
Mm-hmm.
This is what we call a little bit of a passing shower at back home in the 50th state, as this one is on the outer half for a strike.
Well, it's funny because there's blue skies on the horizon.
Yeah, there's blue sky right out to the right side of us. That's what's weird about it. 0-1 pitch. High ball 1. Take a look at the radar right now from the National Weather Service. There is a cell coming by us. It looks a little bit heavy, so to speak. This one is hitting the air to left. That's going towards the left field grass outcropping. Kids better look out over there as the dive bombing run comes in. One, two on the way. And that's going the same direction. That's actually heading towards the Dippin' Dots ice cream truck back there, and it bounces just past it. Actually might have landed in the Kona ice truck.
Someone over there is like, I didn't order baseball with this.
Yeah, as they're trying to pick their way out of the ice. 1 ball, 2 strikes in the pitch. This one is lined to second, and just over the glove of Williams for a base hit. That would have been his second spectacular defensive play of the day. Instead, it's the 5th base hit of the afternoon, and the Corner Canyon Chargers have their first base runner since the 3rd inning on base here and 1 out. That'll bring up the leadoff man in the order, Garrett Downing, as the rain now. It's pretty good shower, but it's not heavy enough that it's not unplayable yet, as that one's up high for ball 1.
It's not that it's unplayable, but it definitely affects the game.
No, it affects the game for sure. I mean, you can see the rain starting to leave little puddles out there in the turf where the players are walking. Ball 2 here outside.
Well, people probably don't realize this, but if you're playing outfield whenever it rains, it actually kind of affects your visibility, at least directly off the bat, especially looking into the overcast clouds right above you.
And then not to mention you're looking up also into the rain at this point as well. Here's the 2-0 pitch. That one, thought that might have hit Garrett Downing, but Downing got out of the way of it, and it's ball 3. Runner on first, 1 out here in the top half of inning number 5. From UCCU Ballpark. Chargers trying to force a 3rd game in this series, a winner-take-all game later on today, as this one is down low again, ball 4. So a 4-pitch walk issued to Garrett Downing, and now here comes Ryder Florence again. As the Chargers threatening once again to put more on the scoreboard.
Well, you talk about another guy, Alex, that waits for his pitches. He had those back-to-back walks in the first and second inning on full counts, too.
One-0 pitch. Foul. Again, if there is a game 3, it'll be approximately 30 minutes following the conclusion of this game here. 1-1 pitch. This one is hit in the air to left, going towards the left field line. Drakulich shades over a couple of feet, makes the catch. We'll hold the runners at first and second. Throw back in quick. And there's 2 out here now in the bottom or the top half of inning number 5 as the rain continues to fall here at UCCU Ballpark. Again, it has been raining virtually all day outside of a couple of hours. Outside of maybe from about 12 to about 3 or 4 o'clock, it was nice. This is popped up sky high. Williams looks up, makes the squeeze, and that ends the inning. Porter Canyon gets 2 runners on base, but they can't do anything else with it. And now the Chargers need to play some defense as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. They still hold a 4-run lead over Lehi. Ball 1 down low to Dawson Brown as we begin the bottom half of the 5th inning here at UCCU Ballpark. Alexander Twip alongside Ty Wilkinson in the heart of the valley here at Orem, Utah. 1-1 pitch on the way from Andrew Nice is up high, 2 balls and a strike and tie. Now, this is where things are going to get a little bit hairy here for Andrew Nice because he's got to work very carefully because, as we said, Lehi could strike in an instant.
Well, not only does he have to work carefully, but now he has to factor into the rain being an option.
This one's hit in the air to center. Downing comes back on it a few steps and makes the catch. I mean, just look at that rain right now through our screen. I mean, that is some... I mean, that's a shower and a half right now that these players are taking right now out there in the outfield.
We'll see if Andrew Nice decides to bring out a bar of soap in this situation.
They may need it. They may need it after this game because there may be a game 3. As now Tanner Heaps comes up to the plate. First pitch on the way to him is high and away, ball 1. Again, we were in a rain delay for about 90 minutes this afternoon of the first game, and then we had a little bit of a hail/rain delay for about 20 minutes after that, as this one was snatched back off the corner a couple of inches for ball 2. .20 pitch. Just a little bit low. 3-0. Pitch. Strike 1. Taking all the way. 1 run, 3 hits, 3 errors for the Pioneers here thus far. Chargers have 5 runs on 5 hits with 1 error. 3-1 on the way. This one is high and inside, ball 4. And we'll have a 1-out base runner here for the Lehi Pioneers. That's the 4th walk issued by Andrew Nice today against 2 strikeouts. And up steps the center fielder now, Gavin Yates, excuse me. He followed in the on-deck circle by Ozzie Williams. Tying run now in the hole for the Lehi Pioneers. First pitch on the way is fouled off the inside of the leg of Yates.
Well, if you're Lehi, you really want to get Yates on base right now because then you got your 1-2-3 order coming up next. It'd be nice to do a little bit of damage early on the base paths.
Well, 1 pitch, there goes the runner, and that's going to get by the catcher as we try to go for the quick pitch out. And now that runner does move into scoring position. with one out. One out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. One pitch on the way. Ball 2. Two one on the way. Is chopped to the pitcher. They'll let the runner go to third. Throw over to third as they get the force at first. And that will create a runner at third base now with 2 out here. For the leadoff man, Ozzie Williams. To be followed in the order by Mays Madsen, who had the big base knock earlier that put Lehi on the board. We talked about how Lehi is a deadly team. They had 2 comeback wins in the tournament. One against American Fork, one in the semifinals against Riverton. And time is called here by Ozzie Williams.
Well, this is good news, too, though, for Lehi's offense, because this is the second back-to-back inning they've had a guy on third. They capitalized on the opportunity last time by that Brandon Manukin, or sorry, by that Cole Ybarra force out there in center, which is as good as a sacrifice.
1-0 pitch on the way, and Williams swung at that one in the dirt. Trying to go down and get that one off the turf.
The only issue is now Lehi has 2 outs instead of 1, so the sac fly is not in contention.
1-1 the count, 2 out. Ozzie Williams in the batter's box, Mays Madsen on deck, 1-1 pitch. Down low in the dirt, goes to 2 balls and a strike. Two-one pitch. Ball 3. Three-one pitch. Ball 4. And there are runners at the corners now with 2 out. And here comes Madsen to the plate. Already 1 for 2 today. Madsen now represents the 4th run in the order now. And the tying run is now on deck in the person of Boston Draculich. Mays Madsen started the rally. Can he continue it right here?
I love as soon as he steps up to the batter's box, the rain starts to fall.
And that is a very good sign, in my opinion. Is that a sign of things to come? First pitch on the way. High, ball 1. As Andrew Nice asks for a different game ball, as that one looked like it slipped out of his hand. And now you see the rain started having an effect.
This is a clutch moment for the captain. It's a good opportunity, too. Runners up the corners.
1-0 pitch, down to the dirt. 2 balls and no strikes. And it looks like we're going to have the field cleared. Yeah, it's coming down now. Yeah, a good reason too. I mean, it's coming down pretty good now, Ty.
Well, Andrew Nice gets lucky. That was 2-0, and I felt Madsen was starting to get some electricity coming soon.
So once again, for the 3rd time today, we are in a rain delay and a good time for it too, as it is pouring now here at UCCU Ballpark. We'll be back as soon as we can on the Rewind Sports Network. It's 5-1 with the Lehi Pioneers threatening to make it interesting. Well, if you look out to our left right now, we have what Ty Wilkinson calls I think what we're calling a quadruple rainbow. Welcome back, everyone, to the Rewind Sports Network's coverage of the UHSAA 6A Baseball Championship Series, Game 2 here from UCCU Ballpark. Ty, well, I don't want to say anything because I might get roasted for it on the air, but seeing that rainbow in that form over the Lehi dugout side right now is kind of freaking me out.
I would say the same thing. It's directly over, like the access point of that rainbow is directly over that bullpen. And that's a bright rainbow too. Holy cow. It's beautiful. Well, do you feel like you're in your home state, Alex?
Okay, well, anyway, let's direct our attention back from the rainbow because now here comes Mace Matson, Ty, out of the weather delay. And this is a big spot for this team because you got the tying run on deck here if you're Lehi, and you got to be smart here with a 2-0 count. So here we go. Back to baseball we go. And the first pitch is in there for a strike as we're back underway with baseball here at UCCU Ballpark. Again, if Corner Canyon wins this game, we'll have a Game 3. Coming up in about 30 minutes after this game is over. 2-1 pitch, check throw over to first. And now the runner coming to the plate, and he is safe at the plate. Runner going to second, throw down, is going to bounce into center field. And that means the tying run is on deck now. And the potential go-ahead run is now in the hole here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Runner on second now with 2 out, and now we got time called here by Mace Matson. Two-one pitch. Ball 3. Three-one on the way. Ball 4. Throw down to third. They are not going to get him. Runners at the corners again. And here comes the tying run.
At the point, number 9, Boston Dracula.
This game just got a whole lot more interesting. It started with a 2-0 count out of this weather delay. And now the tying run is at the plate. Mace Matson going for second. They will not get him. And now he has a word with Conker out there at second base.
Well, didn't I say earlier in the broadcast, Alex, that Lehi needed to be super smart on their base running? I mean, how many steals could you count this inning?
That pitch is down low and in, ball 1. Again, the tying run is at the plate. Potential go-ahead run is on deck. Bottom of the 5th inning. 5-2 Corner Canyon. Are the fireworks about to start again here at UCCU Ballpark? 1-1 pitch. Foul. Just had the feeling something like this was coming from Lehi at some point during this game.
This is a big at-bat, too. Behind in the count, runners on third and second. Knocking on the door of doing more damage.
Nice will step off the mound. Actually, he's going to call for a meeting here. I don't think he liked what he saw on the read on the pitches. Against the backdrop of a rainbow on the field here at UCCU Ballpark. A 5-2 game here in Game 2 of this 5A championship of the 6A championship series. Runners on second and third, 1-2 and 2 out. The 1-2 pitch. Chopper right back to the pitcher. And this inning is over. The Lehi Pioneers scratch across another run. They still trail by 3 as we head to this, the top of the 6th in Game 2. Welcome back to UCCU Ballpark as the sun starts to peek out here at the ballpark. Alexander Timuk alongside Ty Wilkinson here inside the broadcast booth. Reminder, at the end of today's game, Ty and I will be selecting our choice for the Heidemann and Associates Player of the Game. The player that went above and beyond the call of duty, just like how Heidemann and Associates does the same for you, the client. Call and tap today at 801-472-7742 or at 801-754-4240 or contact them online at utah.law. We have a new pitcher on the mound. It's Caleb Crutchfield, the 6'3 left-hander. And Ty, right now, you and Wilson were just talking about it right behind me. Just for Lehi, even to get 1 run in the bottom of the 5th inning was huge for them.
It's true. I mean, little by little, content approach by content approach. I was showing you the scorecard, Alex, because first inning they started off with all zeros, no runs, no hits, and 0 left on base. Same thing, a 1-2-3 inning for Andrew Nice. Then they started to pick up at least a little bit of speed in the 3rd inning. They got 1 hit. But then, obviously, in the 4th, they did some damage, 1 run, and then in the 5th, 1 run. So it's the small and content approach, but it's a sneaky one, too, because they stranded 2 runners on 2nd and 3rd, which a single would have, like Wilson said, could have changed the game in a heartbeat.
So now it's up to Crutchfield to try to keep this deficit right where it is for the bottom of the 6th inning here as the Chargers try to regain some of the momentum they lost from not only that 4th and 5th inning time, but also I think from that rain delay as well, because we were in a delay for well over 23 minutes.
Right. I know it's been raining, Alex, but Corner Canyon is in a run drought right now. They haven't scored ever since the 2nd inning, but that's still holding to be their strong suit right now. I mean, being up 3 runs against a really physical and, detrimental Lehi team in the offensive perspective.
This one is hit in the air to the right side. That one just misses the roof out there on the right field side for strike 1. Again, if Corner Canyon wins, we'll have a Game 3, 30 minutes after this game ends. 0-1 pitch from Crutchfield is high and away, ball 1. Nathan Horseman, the 2-run single that really proved to be the difference so far in this 5-2 ball game. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. One, 2. Goodbye. First strikeout of the first batter face for Caleb Crutchfield. Just the 3rd one of the day, though, for the Lehi pitching staff. And now here comes the starting pitcher, Andrew Nice, now to the plate, who, you would think at this point is definitely going to go to the 6th inning, maybe try to go for the 7th. What a masterful job he's done today as Andrew Nice gets clipped with that pitch from Caleb Crutchfield, and he goes down to first base. And again, Ty, it's the little bit of gamesmanship right there, Ty. You have to say that has been coming for quite a while because of all the chirping that's been going on between the 2 dugouts. Right.
That's a combined 5th hit by pitch that Corner Canyon has received from this Lehi pitching staff, at least on the margin thus far.
Lincoln Yor now goes out to pinch run over at first base for the pitcher, Andrew Nice, so that kind of tells you the strategy that Jeff Yor is thinking about, is that they're going to bring Andrew Nice in at least for the first 2/3 of the 6th inning and see if they can't get somebody in the bullpen to back him up after that. 1-0 pitch is right in at the corner for a strike.
Well, Eric Madsen, as we know, can put a lot of trust in his pitching staff, especially in his bullpen opportunities.
1-1 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Reminder, Lehi has not lost a game in this 6A tournament all week long. They have won 10 consecutive games, but Corner Canyon is threatening to snap that streak and force a decisive winner-take-all game tonight. 1-2 pitch. That one just missed the black. Maybe had to snatch it back a few inches to the left. One-two pitch. That one looked like it fouled off of Dunn, and then it caught off the knee of the catcher, Brandon Manukin. And I know he's wearing padding down to that knee, but sometimes it doesn't really do much to protect your kneecap down there. Now Eric Madsen's going to come out and have a chat with Manukin, make sure he's okay. First-year head coach Eric Madsen trying to bring home the second championship trophy in the 3 major sports for Lehi this year.
You should say first year for Lehi.
Yes, Quincy Lewis and Cooper Lewis did it. Father-son duo for the basketball team, and now Mays and Eric try to do the same for the baseball team. 2-2 pitch. Sit down. Two strikeouts around a hit batsman for Caleb Crutchfield. There's 2 away. And now here comes Jack Munson to the plate. 4, 5, 6 in the order will be leading off the bottom of the 6th inning for the Lehi Pioneers. That pitch is lined to left and a base hit. Munson does come through with a 2-out knock on the end of his bat. And there are runners at first and second now here in the top of the 6th with 2 out. And that'll bring the left fielder Drew Watcott now to the plate. And Ty, that's a big insurance run standing out there at second base.
It really is, to go up at least 4 runs. I told you, or at least I think we talked about, I forget what game it was, but the difference between being down 4 from being down 3 and the mentality that you have as ball players.
There's a liner into center field, but it is caught on the run by Ozzie Williams. And on 1 pitch, the inning is over. We head to the bottom of the 6th. Heart of the order coming up. The heart rates are rising. Will there be a game 3, or will the Pioneers do it again and come back to win the championship? We'll be back on the Rewind Sports Network after this message from Eddie Hour Services. Well, look at that blue sky here that Vince Francis is showing the viewers at home here at UCCU Ballpark, looking out towards the University Parkway and the junction that leads to the I-15 freeway. Alexander Tim up alongside my broadcast partner Ty Wilkinson. We get set for the final half of the 6th inning here. And Ty, you were just pointing something out to me on your scorecard. Corner Canyon, I mean, they're up 5-2 right now, but you got to think they should be up a lot more if it wasn't for leaving a lot of runners on base.
True, they've left 12 total, at least on base. Not to mention that in the 2nd and 4th inning, they strained at the bases loaded at one point. We remember that great 2nd inning where they put up a 4 spot on the Lehi Pioneers, but you wonder if that's going to play a factor into this later inning for a team that is known for having an outstanding offense in this particular inning.
We pointed out again, Lehi put up 4 runs in the top of the 6th inning against American Fork. They put up 4 in the top of the 7th against the Riverton Silverwolves in that elimination game. And so in a 3-run game, we said it, folks, we might just be getting started with the fireworks here at UCCU Ballpark here in Game 2. 2-0 pitch to Koyabara. Ball, looked like it was a ball 3, but it's called a strike instead. Probably a makeup for the one they missed a little bit earlier. Two-one pitch on the way. This one is foul. Ybarra, Manukin, Cooper Williams, the 3 to be leading off here for the Pioneers here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Down 3 runs. Two pitch on the way. Goodbye. And for the first time since I believe it was the 3rd or 4th inning, Andrew Nice finally has a strikeout His third one of the day against 4 walks. And here comes Nuke. First pitch on the way. And he swings and misses at that one.
Well, Alex, that last strikeout was huge, and let me tell you why. Cole Ybarra, if you can remember I shouldn't say dating back to, but that Lehi versus American Fort game. I'll let this ground out.
Throw over to first is in time, and 2 up, 2 down here for Andrew Nice here in the bottom half of the 6th inning.
And so the reason that's such a huge out, you remember Cole Ybarra, he got that outstanding RBI. I believe it was to tie the game, correct? Was it to tie? Because they were down.
Manukin tied the game on Tuesday. It was Ybarra who basically won the game on Wednesday.
Right. But he had that huge base knock. So did Manukin, by the way, in that American Fort game. At least that's what I was trying to refer to, for that matter.
Cooper Williams now stands into the plate, 2 out here in the bottom half of the 6th. Well, 1 pitch on the way. That one had to be snatched back a couple of inches there off the right-hand side. Ball 1. 1-1 pitch. Ground ball to short again. Picked up by Florence. Gunned over to first. And Andrew Nice has set down the side again. Ekahi e Lua Aloha go the Pioneers. Now the Chargers need to get some offense going. They haven't scored since the 2nd inning. They could use an insurance run. We head to the last inning of regulation play. Corner Canyon in the driver's seat. Up 5-2. Josh Dodge temporarily taking over on the camera for us here as Vince Francis takes a quick little break. Want to go back to UCCU Ballpark on the campus of Utah Valley University. The UHSAA Baseball Championship Series will continue on KSL Sports Rewind. If this scoreline holds, folks, in 30 more minutes after this game ends, we will have a winner-take-all Game 3 between the Corner Canyon Chargers and the Lehi Pioneers. Stay tuned for all of that action. Still got a long way to go, but if Corner Canyon wins, stay tuned for Game 3 coming up at approximately, we'll say about maybe 6:45 or 7 o'clock here on the Rewind Sports Network. Alexander Tumup alongside my broadcast partner Ty Wilkinson, and you talk about an inning Lehi needs to have defensively, down 3 runs. This is it right here.
It definitely is, especially against the guys that he's going to have to be facing, at least coming up here shortly.
So pinch hitter coming up here, replacing Tanner Mackey. Logan Nordhoff will lead off the bottom half or top half of the 7th. It's Caleb Crutchfield, and he takes strike 1 over the outer half of the plate. Corner Canyon hasn't scored since putting up that 4 spot in the top half of the 2nd inning, but since then their defense and their pitching have been excellent, to say the least, as Nordhoff swings and misses and quickly goes down 0-2 here to Caleb Crutchfield. Oh, 2 pitch. Aloha. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night to you, Logan Nordhoff, as he gets set down on 3 pitches, and now up to the plate steps the leadoff man, Garrett Downing. So lefty against lefty here for Caleb Crutchfield.
Well, this is huge so far for Lehi's bullpen. I mean, you take a look at all the zeros you see from the 3rd to the 6th inning, now carrying over into the 7th. And I mean, that's what's keeping, Lehi realistically in the game, at least as the time goes right now.
Pitch on the way. Swing and a miss, strike 2. It'll be Brown, Heaps, and Yates, bottom of the order, coming up to the Lehi Pioneers, and Yates will represent the tying run in the hole for the Lehi Pioneers in the inning. 0-2 pitch on the way. That one misses the corner by about a hair. Ball 1. As Manukin had to bring it back a couple of inches over the left side. One, 2. That one tries to go back inside, but misses low. 2-2 pitch. And this one is hit off the glove, foul of Brandon Manukin, as that one looked like it was foul tipped into his glove, but he couldn't squeeze it. So I believe the 5th pitch now of this AB coming up here for Garrett Downing, who's looking to get on base and gives the Corner Canyon Chargers some important insurance out there. A run will go a long ways to giving Corner Canyon some confidence going into the bottom of the 7th inning, especially with the firepower Lehi has on all parts of the lineup. 2-2 pitch coming, the payoff on the way. See you later. 2 up, 2 down for Caleb Crutchfield, and now that brings up the shortstop Ryder Florence, who's been spectacular today, Ty Wilkinson.
Yeah, he definitely has. I mean, not only just defensively, but also offensively. I mean, I'm going to disregard his 2 flyouts that he's had in the previous innings, but the best player, I think, for Corner Canyon, that he just decides to wait for what he likes, and if he likes it, he'll swing on it. So credit where it's due. When he likes his pitches, he'll get it in play, but he also likes to lay off the pitches that he doesn't like. Example A.
He's been the most consistent player, I think, up and down the lineup for Corner Canyon, along with Nathan Horseman, and Rylan Dunn, of course, has had his moments as well, but I think Ryder Florence definitely has developed into something special here for Corner Canyon in this 6A baseball tournament.
Well, there's a reason why he wears the number on his back, but, you know, getting that 2 slot is a super big deal for the Corner Canyons lineup.
You kind of wonder if that's a reference to Troy Tulowitzki, as we have catcher's interference called on Brandon Manukin, and that's going to put Ryder Florence on first base. That's just the 2nd time we've seen catcher's interference called in this entire tournament, and there was no argument from Manukin, so got a little overzealous there, and now up steps Cash Conquer to the plate. Important insurance run for Corner Canyon out there at first base. As Ty said, big difference between a 3-run game and a 4-run game here, especially against a team that has as much firepower that Lehi does on all parts of the lineup, especially with Brown, Heaps, and Yates, the bottom of the order coming up in the 7th inning for the Pioneers, trying to take home the championship. This one is hacked foul off to the right field side and out of play.
Well, how about Lehi once again? Their bullpen pitching coming through yet again at their 4th strikeout. Or there's 4 strikeouts in just 2 innings. Remember, the 2 in the 6th and now 2 in the 7th. Again, they're the ones that are keeping him in for the count right now, at least.
So 1-2 the count now, as Caleb Crutchfield has the Corner Canyon Chargers on their last offensive out of Game 2 in regulation play. Can Crutchfield set down the side and give his team a chance in the bottom of the 7th? The payoff pitch on the way, 1-2. And that one is up high around the nose there, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two on the way. Fly ball in the air to right. Tailing towards foul ground. Brown has got it. And the drama builds. 7, 8, 9. Started by the man you see running off the field, Dawson Brown. We head to the bottom of the 7th. Lehi is in last chance saloon. Down 5-2. Well, here we go. There's the story of the game so far. Corner Canyon has basically been shut out since the 2nd inning. They've only put up 5 runs. They've been shut out in every inning since then. Alexander Tim up alongside my broadcast partner Ty Wilkinson, and as Andrew Nice is back on the mound to try to go to the complete game win. And Ty, you have to say, I mean, we talked about how Corner Canyon needed a response in this game. They have gotten it and then some. Now can they close the deal?
Well, yeah, and we said it at the beginning, at least pregame-wise, that Andrew Nice would not have to be nice to these Lehi batters, and boy, has he done so. Only allowed 3 hits for this dangerous lineup. Like, that stat in and of itself is super incredible to me, and I think the folks at home need to understand how difficult that is against this Lehi lineup that is just so loaded and so heart-driven.
So here is Dawson Brown to lead off the bottom of the 7th inning, and he takes ball 1 from Andrew Nice. 7, 8, 9 in the order for Lehi here in the bottom of the 7th inning to try and force at least extra innings. Tying run is in the hole. 1-0 pitch. Ground ball to short. Florence scoops it up, throws to first, 1 out.
Now, number 11, Tanner Heaps.
2 outs away from a masterful performance by Andrew Nice. He only has 3 strikeouts on the day, but boy, has his defense stepped up big when they needed to today. First pitch on the way. Had to snatch that back off the corner there, ball 1 to the first baseman, Tanner Heaps. Andrew Nice is in line for the win. The loss will be charged to TJ Peterson. That one had to be picked up a little bit off the rug right there, off the black there, 2-0. The tying run is Ozzie Williams in the hole right now for the Lehi Pioneers. 2-0 pitch. Line to right, foul. Could not have imagined Andrew Nice being thrust into the situation when he has responded with one of the biggest outings of his career. Two 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Two-two pitch. Foul. Two-two payoff. Foul again. Sixth pitch of the AB coming up here for Tanner Heaps. Again, the tying run is in the hole with Ozzie Williams on deck, following Gavin Yates, the center fielder.
Well, in both plate appearances that Tanner Heaps has had, he's got on base, and he's not willing to give that up.
2-2 pitch. Fouled again. And this is pitch number 7 coming up here in the at-bat. There is an arm up in the bullpen right now. It's a right-hander for Corner Canyon. But the way Andrew Nice is pitching right now, I don't think Jeff Yore is going to move a single inch toward that bullpen. Two-two pitch. Full count. And now a pitch away from bringing the tying run on deck. Three balls, 2 strikes, and the pitch. Ball 4. And the tying run will be brought to the on-deck circle as here comes Gavin Yates.
At the plate, number 2, Tanner. At the plate, number 2, Gavin Yates.
Ozzie Williams now stands on deck as the potential tying run and the potential championship winning run is in the hole now in the form of guess who? Mays Madsen.
Can't script it any better than this, can ya?
First pitch on the way. Ball 1 again. Again, there's a right-hander warming up in the bullpen for Corner Canyon. One-zero pitch. Runner goes. Throw down to second. Stolen base. Lehi has scored single runs in the 4th and the 5th. Two-zero pitch. Strike one.
I talked about it too earlier, Alex. The mental awareness on the base paths for Lehi is what would keep them in it. And I mean, they've had plenty and plenty of stolen bases against Andrew Nice.
2-1 pitch. Foul. 2-2. Two-two pitch. Ball 3. And now a pitch away from potentially bringing the tying run to the plate and the championship winning run to the on-deck circle. Three-two pitch on the way. Here it comes. No! Ball 4. The drama builds. And Jeff Yore comes right out of that dugout. And I think that is going to do it for his starter, Andrew Nice. Andrew Nice does his job. Here comes Lincoln Yore out of the bullpen. Can he get the final 2 outs? The drama builds. We will be right back. Lincoln Yore comes into the game at shortstop. Ryder Florence takes over at pitcher. Andrew Nice will still be responsible for the runners on first and second. The tying run now at the plate in the person of Ozzie Williams and Ty. We talked about this. Corner Canyon, they nearly blew a 10-4 lead at the bottom of the 7th inning against the Mountain Ridge Sentinels. We asked the question, can they close the deal? It is once again now going to be up to their bullpen to get it done.
It really will be. I mean, you put it into the arm of Ryder Florence, who has been a very, very productive asset in the wins that Corner Canyon has had this season. He's maintained a 1.12 ERA in the 10 appearances that he's had. 2 wins on his resume and 3 saves. That's the key factor right there, is the 3 saves. You just got to let the drama build at this point, Alex.
Absolutely. The most runs that Corner Canyon had given up before the game against Lehi last night was 8 runs against Mountain Ridge. Can they finally close the deal against the Lehi Pioneers and force a winner-take-all Game 3? The tying run is at the plate. The potential championship winning run is on deck. First pitch on the way. Ball 1. Strike 1. Rider in the air to left center. That is going to be caught out there by the center fielder Downing. Runners will tag and go to second and first, respectively. But there are now runners at the corners. There's 2 out, Ty. And the potential game-tying run is now represented by Maze Madsen, with the potential championship-winning run represented by Boston Draculich. You can't script it any better than that, can you?
You can't at all. And how about the 3-time player of the game this tournament coming to the at-bat with the last out to save Lehi.
First pitch coming. Ball 1. And they're working him very, very carefully here. One 0. Ball 2. Doesn't get the call.
I don't blame Florence for those outside pitchers either, Alex, especially against that dangerous hitter at the plate.
Two 0 pitch. Liner foul. Look out, first base coach. Whoa. That one came right by his feet. Strike 2. Back up the middle. Base hit. Runner will go to third. Tying run aboard. We're not done yet. And Boston Draculich now represents the championship winning run. First pitch on the way. Liner to third, to first. Game over. The series is tied. There will be a third game in this championship. So they will come to the center of the field now for the coin toss to determine who has home field in this game 3. Jeff Clough, the assistant exec of the UHSAA, is currently out of the field. Lehi is the home team. They will call a toss. Lehi has won the toss, which means they will be the home team in game 3. And Ty Wilkinson, we just knew this was going to happen. Lehi and Corner Canyon will now play a decisive game 3 in this series.
I mean, you can't script it any better, can you? Lehi has been handed their first loss in the tournament after 10 in a row. And now we head to a theoretical, what feels like would to be a game 7, even though it's game 3.
So Ty, time to name our Heidemann and Associates player of the game here in game 2. I mean, Ty, you talk about a career-defining performance. Andrew Nice, 6 1/3 innings 6 1/3 innings. He had 4 walks, but he had 4 big strikeouts. And Ty, you talk about the effort that this defense gave all game long. You could not have scripted this any better for the Corner Canyon Chargers.
You definitely couldn't. He allowed only 3 hits total, as well as 2 runs to Lehi. That stat in and of itself is just incredible. That is a career performance and one to be proud of at that.
So Ty, Joe Buck always says there's the regular season, there's the postseason, and then there's Game 7s. We are going to play a theoretical Game 7 coming up at 7 o'clock p.m. What do you think the message is now for both teams heading into this winner-take-all championship game?
It's go big or go home at this point, Alex, because there will be no game after this. There will be a decided winner. There will also be a decided loser. There is going to be no in-between. There is no other game happening after this. You just kind of have to tell your team, guys, everything that we've done this season, all of these mound visits, all of these coaching meetings that I've brought you in for, this is what the season's all about right here.
It's the best words in baseball. Winner, take all. The series is tied 1-1. We will have a Game 3. Get ready, folks. We'll be back at 6:50 for the tune-up and the startup to what will be a Game 3 for the ages.